Winnie the Pooh is back and is surprisingly bloodier than ever. Over the weekend, I watched Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. I can't even believe a second got made, but apparently the first was so successful, they deemed a sequel necessary. And to be honest, I'm not really mad about it because I was shockingly not disappointed. And I kind of hate to say that, but just know my expectations were in the basement. And then I kind of was here with my level of enjoyment. Proceed with caution, there will be a lot of spoilers. I will literally tell you everything about this movie. It's not really going to ruin anything for you. You're not going to catch this at the Oscars, so don't worry too much. Now, as we know, if you watched the first Winnie the Pooh movie, it was a difficult watch. Not because of the content, simply because it was just bad. All round. It just felt like a low-budget student film. Nothing wrong with that. It's just show it at unis. Don't show it to me at home. But, you know, I sought it out. I wanted to watch it because I love a good meme movie. I love a movie that's so bad it's good. But this was unfortunately just so bad it was bad. They tricked me and they got me good. Yet I was also someone who contributed to the future budget of the second movie. So you're welcome. I'm partially responsible for getting the sequel made. The masks as well were atrocious in the first movie. They kind of did follow suit in the second by continuing to just cast real people and put masks on their head. But at least in the second, they upgraded the masks. They felt a little bit more authentic to Winnie the Pooh. It followed Christopher Robin, of course, who abandoned his Pooh Bear and friends, resulting in them starving and turning into monsters hell-bent on destroying everything. So that was the first one. It was pretty simple. The sequel, though, literally just undid everything the first one did, instead following the Scream formula and, in a way, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, aka my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and pretty much said, hey, everything you saw in that first movie didn't happen. It was actually a movie within the world of this movie, and we're all aware of it. And we will even show you the characters watching that first movie, just so it cements in your head that the first movie is not canon anymore. So, a new lore was formed in the sequel, and it is truly the craziest origin story for Winnie the Pooh and his now psychotic friends. So, let's just get into it. We are told right off the bat that in this world, people have turned on Christopher Robin. They blame him for the deaths of people in the 100-acre woods that were obviously done by Pooh Bear and his friends, but everyone blames Christopher Robin. They also think he's a psychopath because, of course, he says he's got some animal friends that he used to hang out with who are now murderous, and people are like, nah, can't be right, which makes sense. I would say the same thing, but unfortunately Christopher Robin is correct. He is also now seeing a therapist who is seemingly just hypnotizing him every session in order to help him remember his past, which I found odd because he does seem to remember his past outside of these therapy sessions. So that didn't add up to me. You will find there are a lot of plot holes in this film. Just ignore them. Anyway, the movie quite literally kicked off with a group of girls trying to summon the spirits of the 100-acre woods. I wasn't quite sure if they were summoning the spirits or Pooh Bear and friends. We'll never know. Some people seem to believe it could be real. Some people don't believe it's real. Anyway, once again, ignore the sweeping plot holes, please. They were, of course, met with the furry crazed friends, and this is their ultimate demise. It is in this moment, though, that we get to see how much more money this movie had to play with than the first one, because oh my god, did they hit the ground running. They said, we're going to have the most fiery, dramatic deaths imaginable, and you're going to see all our money getting spent in this one moment. The breaking of arms, the burning of people, it was wild. It was actually pretty fun, though. As soon as that moment happened, I was like, wow, we're in for a wild ride, and I'm really quite excited for this. Now, the partners of the girls that are killed within the first few minutes return to the woods with some weapons, and they're hell-bent on killing the furry friends in the woods. So they, of course, believe the creatures did it. Like I said, some people believe it, some people don't. I don't really know what's going on. Everyone just hates Christopher Robin. Anyway, Pooh Bear and friends attack the men trying to get to them. But one person survives. His face, however, is never going to be the same. And that was actually pretty cool to see. Special effects is excellent in this. I mean, excellent is a very strong word to use. Mediocre, but compared to the first, superior. Now, the surviving friend is taken to hospital, the hospital that Christopher Robin works at, and he comes with a warning for him. He says, You were right. Pooh Bear and friends are out and about attacking folk. However, Christopher Robin is fired from that hospital because people obviously believe he's a psychopath and don't trust him because he talks to animals. It's fine. Now back to the therapy sessions. It's in the therapy sessions that we do see some flashbacks, though, to Christopher Robin as a young boy playing with Pooh Bear, who is also in the form of a young boy. It was weird. And that's when I knew, whoa, this law is going to be real different. It's not just Pooh Bear that is timeless. It is Pooh Bear that ages. He also has flashbacks of a man in a van, and we soon realize that man is the janitor of the hospital Christopher Robin was working at. Christopher tracks him down, questioning him and his involvement with whatever took place in his past. Because he's suspicious about something's going on, he wants to know. His brother also disappeared when he was younger. He's trying to connect the two. So he thinks he has involvement in the Pooh Bear situation and his brother. We then find out the dark lore behind the creatures, as well as the truth about the missing people in the area. Now here is the kicker. The reason for these creatures goes as follows. Now, a doctor kidnapped a bunch of people to experiment on with the help of the janitor, aka the man in the van, offering him a tidy sum of money in order to help him with this plan. This all goes pear-shaped though, and he is forced to bury all of the people he experimented on, and in order to hide his secret of what he's done. They don't stay dead, however, of course, why would they? And they emerge from the grave in the form of Pooh Bear, Piglet, and Tigger. And we do get to see Tigger in this movie. It's pretty amazing. We also find out that Pooh is actually Christopher Robin's brother, who was taken away when he was young. That was a plot twist. We did kind of see it coming though. The entire thing is a mind trip, for sure. At this point, the creatures, with the help of a new foe, Owl, who just comes out of nowhere but is the most unhinged out of all of them. At one point, he attacks a character and literally just vomits white liquid into them. Didn't know what that was about, and it was never explained. It had me questioning whether that's a thing owls do, and I just don't know enough about them. So if that's the case, just let me know. So the group team up against the humans, taking the fight to them. They target Christopher and his friends and family, as well as a rave that is taking place in town, which is by far one of the most insane scenes in the entire movie, as well as the bloodiest, as you would expect. Now, I can't give this movie too much credit. The best I can do is judge it solely side by side with the first movie, which was abysmal. Based on those standards, this movie felt like an Oscar contender, even though I said that earlier. It did feel superior. However, it did have some on-the-nose moments that had me screaming. An example being the mother of Christopher, for some reason, stacks her giant cutting knives face up in the dishwasher, head up, point up. When that happened, I thought, that's a hazard. And then they had to comment on it saying, that's going to be the death of me. And of course it was. We knew it was going to be, but thank you for showing us, and thanks for teeing up that line. We knew it was coming, and her death was quite shocking. She landed on those knives, full force, and she'll never see again, unfortunately. I also want to discuss a small moment that served no purpose at all, but just kind of baffled me and made me unnecessarily mad. One character was taking a shower, so of course we knew they were about to die. But while showering, they were wearing AirPods. Are you okay? I need an explanation for this chaos immediately, because this was not normal behavior. It actually really stressed me out for him. I was like, this can't end well for you. But he did die moments later. Owl got him, vomited onto him. What I will say though, is this movie was a ton of fun. There's no question there. Yes, it wasn't the most life-changing of experiences, or a movie that I would necessarily recommend to a large group of people, only close friends who I trust who wouldn't judge me. But in comparison to the first movie, this was far superior. It was a bloody mess with chaos from literal start to finish. I also enjoy a movie where no character is safe. Anyone at any point could die. The lore of Winnie the Pooh and his friends left a lot to be desired though, but they did try their best. I did like that it was different than the first. If you want mindless, gory entertainment, I would suggest you watch the film. Just go in with low expectations, because at least then you will be somewhat pleasantly surprised. Let me know if you've seen the movie, leave me your comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.